Yes.
Okay, okay. Right. So coming to the next point, in last class, we have chance to create the source, we have chance to create the target, then we created the mapping with transformation. The transformation is called as expression transformation. In expression transformation, we can do all data manipulations without using aggregate functions. That means all single row functions we can use it, like round, decode, toChar, toDate, substring. These all things you can use. These are the single row functions. But what we cannot use in expression transformation is sum, average, min, max. These things we cannot use in the expression transformation. Expression transformation mainly designed for the data manipulation. Data manipulation. Okay, you people understand that point. You created the expression transformation also. Now if you go for the next point, let me open our document. Let us go for our document, design and execution process. Right. So in this one, we need to go for the first 3 points are completed. Creating the source definition, target definition, creating a mapping with transformations completed. Now we need to create a session task, followed by creating a workflow with task components, running the workflow and verifying the results. Fine. Today our target is finish these 3 activities we are going to finish end of our class. We are going to finish these all things. Right. What is the meaning of task? Let us say once I entered into office, then I used to say, yes, I have today so many tasks to do. Task means what, sir? One work. Task is nothing but one work. So what are the different types of tasks are available in our Informatica? If I want to see that one, let me go to the client, Power Center client. Then I am going for Workflow Manager. There is a one client. Let me open the Workflow Manager. Then once you open Workflow Manager, what is your repository service? We have here B108 RS. Try to double click on that one and give the password also administrator connected. Then try to open this folder. Then as of now, there is no tasks are available inside the tasks folder. If I go for the workflows, these are I can say Workflow Manager. Workflow Manager is mainly useful to create the workflows. However, Workflow Manager is divided into 3 things. One is called as Task Developer, Workload Designer, then Workflow Designer. Mainly we are going to work with the Workflow Designer. Let us say I am trying to click on the Workflow Designer. If you are going to the Workflows menu, here I have the option called as Create option. Let us say I am creating one workflow. Let us say this is called as test workflow. I created one workflow with the name of what? Test is the workflow name. Under this test workflow, if you go and expand here, what is available here? Start is available. The start is called as one task. If you go and see, let us say click on edit. We are seeing here task type is equal to what? Start. So start also called as what, sir? One task. Now, if you go and see here, I have one thing that is known as, this is known as session task. Session task is useful to run your mapping. So each and every session task will be connected with the mapping. And next is available that is called as command task. If you want to copy some files from one folder to another folder you want to copy, or you want to check in a folder how many files are available, you need to check it out. If I have 10 files, then only do this one, like that conditions you want to do it. Okay, at that moment we are going to use here command task. This command task is going to accept all your commands, whatever you want to write it, you can write here. So that is what the command task. Command task also is one work. For example, I can say copying files from one location to another location. Now next is available that is called as email task. Suppose something is failed. At that moment I want to get one email. Something is passed. At that moment also I want to get one email. At that moment I want here email task. Suppose next one is available decision task. Similarly we have here assignment task, then timer task, then we have here as control task, then we have here next is event wait task, then we have here event raise task, then we have here worklet is also one of the tasks. This is called as link task. Link task is useful to connect all these tasks. You can connect it. Let us say I am going to the link task to the control to the somewhere else. If you want to go, you can go and you can connect one by one. You can go and you can connect one by one. I think control to here it is not accepting. Let me do in this way. Okay, from here to event wait, from here to event raise, let us say from event raise to something else. Like this you can go and you can connect it whatever way you want it. So what I would like to say is, what is the task means? Task is a one activity, one work. Email task means it is useful to send the emails. Session task is it is useful to connect with the mapping. Whatever you create the mapping, that mapping you can connect it. Then decision task is to take the decision. Let us say this variable value is equal to 2, then do this one. This variable value is equal to 3, then do this one. Like there's some kind of decisions you want to take, you can take the decisions. Right. So if you go and see one simplest workflow, how it looks like. One simplest workflow, how it looks like. See this diagram, the diagram is going to answer the question, what is the simplest workflow available. This is the simplest workflow what you can see in this world. A workflow is a set of instructions for the Informatica server to perform a data transformation and loading. A workflow is what, sir? A set of instructions for the Informatica server. Informatica server means which server it is? Repository server or integration server, sir? Informatica server means it is a repository server or integration server, we need to say. Whenever I say Informatica server, I can say integration server also called as what, sir? Informatica server. Integration server or more synonym is I can say Informatica server. Right. Combines the logic of session tasks, other type of tasks and worklets. See here, this is what the start task, this is called as session task. Other type of task means what? Down the line if you want to take, let us say command task or you want to take email task, these all things also you can take it. That's what we are saying as we can combine the logic of the session task, other type of task. In other type of task what you can take it? Email task you can take as a other type of task for easiest purpose. Now and worklets, I shown one of the things that is called as worklet task also I shown it. Worklet task also I shown it. This is what called as worklet task. This is what called as worklet task. If I click here, we are getting here worklet only. What is worklet? You come to understand later point of time. The simplest workflow is composed of a start task. This is what called as your start task. A link task, this line whatever you are seeing that is called as link task. And other tasks, another one task that is called as, it may be session task, it may be email task, it may be command task, any one task is required. Any one task is required. In my example, we taken session task we taken. So a workflow means what, sir? 3 objects are there always. Number 1 is called as start task, link task, then session task. Start task, link task and session task. This is the simplest workflow. Okay, you may have n number of tasks may be available down the line, but here we are taking only simplest one we are taking. Okay, that is perfectly, we understand that one workflow structure, how it will be there. Let us go and try to implement the same thing using the hands-on. Let us go and try to implement the same thing using the hands-on. Let me open our hands-on. I am trying to open our hands-on. Right. We need to do the hands-on 3 relevant to this one, creating workflow. Creating workflow. What is our goal is the exercise in this lab, familiarize the student with the process of creating a simple workflow. Simple workflow is consist of a start task and session task. This workflow will essentially define runtime version of the mapping created on the previous lab. In the previous lab, what we did, sir, we created one mapping, right? We created one mapping. That mapping running version, that means if you want to run this means you need to add to the workflow. There is no other go. You cannot run the mapping directly. You cannot run mapping directly. The mapping will be going as an input to the whatever you are going to do your work. Now, the exercise will also familiarize the student with the process of starting and monitoring a workflow. How to start it and how to monitor it, we are going to understand it. So in this one, what is the objective is, these are the things we are going to learn it. How to use the workflow manager. Workflow manager is nothing but, this is what the workflow manager, this is what the workflow manager. Second, creating a new workflow. How to create a new workflow, we need to understand. I created a test. Then creating and editing the session task. This is what called as session task. How to create the session task, we are going to understand it. Then link task within a workflow. This is what called as link task. How to do this one, we need to understand. Validate a workflow. Once you created the workflows, you can go and you can click on the validate, and what are the errors we are going to face it, we are going to understand. Then start a workflow. How to start the workflow also we are going to understand. If you right click on this one, then you are going to get one option. That option is called as start workflow. Or you can use this button that is called as, once you selected here, you used to get one button that is called as start workflow. Or you can go to the workflows and we have here option called as start workflow. How to start it, we are going to understand. Use the workflow monitor to monitor workflows. We have one more window that is known as M. M stands for workflow monitor. M stands for workflow monitor. What is this component, we are going to understand down the line. As of now, I don't want any workflow. I am trying to delete the existing one. Click on S. Now my workflow folder is what's now? Empty. My workflow folder is empty now. Nothing is available. Fine. Let us go and try to do the first exercise. Exercise 1, creating the workflow. Start the workflow manager, select start and try to open. Let me close this one, repository manager. I am exiting. And also I am giving control to someone. Yes, Niru, you there? I think N is the Niru, right? Give keyboard and mouse controls, I given. Try to open workflow manager. Just follow the first point and try to open it. Start, then all programs. Then Informatica client you need to go. Then Power Center client, then workflow manager, then workflow manager. Perfect. Click on OK. Now maximize this window. Whatever your repository is available, try to connect to that repository. Your repository name is what? B108RS. So try to double click on that one. Then provide the password also, administrator. Click on connect. Provide password as administrator. Click on connect. Double click on the folder. Right. We got here now one window. This window already people got the introduction, right? So this window is called as repository navigator. This window is called as output window. This is called as work area. These work areas are divided into three types: workflow designer work area, worklet designer and task developer. Three types of work areas are there. This is what the introduction here. Now first point is completed successfully. Next what, sir? Connect to the repository. Just now we connected to the repository also by providing the username and password. And we opened the workflow designer also we opened. Step 3 is set the default target load type. Step 3 is set the default target load type. Fine. This is very important entry point of view as well as your loading point of view also. Now target loads are divided into two types. One is called as normal, second is called as bulk. Where I can see that those options actually. If you go to the tools menu, options, then we can see that one. Let us say this is what the tools menu, then options. Then I have here miscellaneous. Here you can observe the normal and bulk you can observe. Normal and bulk you can observe. If you click on the help button here, then you can see the normal and load corresponding things, you can see it. Miscellaneous options. There we have here target load type. Set default load type for sessions. You can choose normal or bulk loading. Any changes you make takes effect after you restart the workflow manager window. That means you need to close the window and you need to open the window, workflow manager window. You can override the setting in the session properties. Default is what, sir? Bulk. By default it is available as a bulk. But in my case, you see here by default what is there, sir? Previous batches, in previous batches I set this to the normal. That's what in my case you are seeing normal. But whenever you install the software, with installation, what is the by default option you are going to get it? Bulk option we are going to get it. Okay. This one if you want to override, from where you can override saying, sir, suppose I am trying to click on one session task I am creating with your mapping, then you can go and see here, let us say mapping, this is your target table. Here I have the option called as normal and bulk. From here you can override it. Let us say you are going to create 100 workflows. For 100 workflows you want normal only. Then by default it is coming as what, sir? Here normal it is coming in my case. In my case by default it is coming as what, sir? Normal. If you want to override, that means you can do it. Perfect. Now what is this normal? What is this bulk? Okay, I understand how to set the normal, how to set the bulk. What is the use of this one? What is the use of this normal or bulk? When to go for what? When to go for what? Right. Tell me one point. Your target table, whatever available, is it your target table containing any key columns, sir? That we need to analyze it. We have on target table, we have any key column or not, we need to analyze it. Go and observe here, we have the key or not, sir? When this key is going to come into the picture, suppose if we go to the SQL developer, what is your target database schema name? What is your target database schema name? B108 TDBU. B108 TDBU. What is your source database? B108 SDBU. That is your source, this is your target. Now I am going to the target database, let us say B108 TDBU. Is it available here? If not, we'll create one connection. Try to create one connection with B108 TDBU. Create one connection with B108 TDBU. Provide the connection name also B108 TDBU. So that down the line we can identify very easily. And username also B108 TDBU. And password is RR capital letter small 123. Save the password, RR capital letter small 123. Save the password. Then provide the SID as ORCL. SID as ORCL. Click on save, test, connect. Click on save, test. Then see the success message, connect. Now it is connecting. If you go and see here, what is your target table name? The target table name is ODS underscore employee is your target table name. ODS underscore employee is your target table name. Here I have the columns. Do I have any data? Data is not available. If you go and see here, one thing that is known as constraints. We have any constraints, sir? I have one thing that is called a check. What is check here? Employee ID is not what, sir? Is not null. That we need to check it out. It is a primary key also. It is a primary key also. Do I have any indexes here? I have the index that is called as unique. Whatever we have here, primary key, the same thing it is showing here. The same thing is showing as a key symbol here. If you go and see the definitions here, ports, and let me go for the target designer, then double click, then columns. What you are seeing, sir, employee ID is coming as what? Primary key. Did you given this one manually? No. System automatically identified that one. Suppose your target table has indexes. Your target table has index. If your target table has index, then there is no other go for you. You need to go with the normal mode only. If the target table has index means what, sir? What mode you need to go? You need to go only normal mode. You need to go only normal mode. If indexes are available, then we need to go only normal mode. Suppose this index is not available. If this index is not available, then you can go for normal mode you can go, or you can go for what, sir? Bulk mode you can go. But best one, recommended method is what, sir? Bulk is the recommended, so that the data movement will be going as a bulk. Bulk means bunch of records is going to load it. Bunch of records is going to load it. That is the reason performance will be fast. What is your understanding from this one? These are the 2 points what you understand, right? First one, Target load types are two types. One is normal, second is bulk. If target table has index, then we must use what, sir? Normal load method. If target table has no index, then we can use either normal or bulk. However, bulk is recommended. Bulk load is performance wise better than normal load. Anyhow, most of the target tables will be having what, sir? Indexes. Most of the target tables will be having indexes. That is the reason we are selecting by default option as normal. With installation, we are going to get by default option is bulk. With installation, we are going to get by default option is bulk. We are setting our enrollment is by default option is normal we are setting. Okay, right. We selected this as normal, that is done. This is the way how we can select the normal. Click on OK. Any doubts in the step 3? No. Let us go for the step 4, creating a new workflow. I want to go for a workflow definition. A workflow is a set of instructions that tells the Informatica server how to execute the tasks. Down the line, we are going to create a number of tasks, start task, session task, email task, like that. Every workflow contains a start task, it is mandatory, which represents the beginning of the workflow. It represents the beginning of the workflow. One green thing start is available, right? That is called as start task. Now, how to create the workflows is, go to the workflows menu, then we have here create option. The create workflow dialog box will be appears like this as shown. So on the general tab, enter the name is equal to WF underscore ODS underscore employee. I am copying this name. Yes, madam, try to create the workflow. Try to create the workflow. Already we have the workflow manager is open. W, that is, yeah, that's correct. W, symbol is W, yeah. Go for the workflow manager. Then go to the this task is shown just like that, so I am trying to delete it. Now go to the workflow designer. First you need to select the work area as workflow designer. Work area as workflow designer. Now go to the menu bar, workflow menu bar. Then create option. Now we need to create one workflow, paste it. Already we copied the name, so paste it. Names will not be accepting any spaces, sir. That is the reason, try to remove the spaces. OK. In the bottom we have the OK button. Yeah, click on OK. Now this is what called as start task what you created. This is what called as start task what you created. Click on OK. The start task appears in the workflow designer workplace as shown like this. Save your repository. Now go and try to save it. Go to the repository menu bar. There I have the save button. It is going to throw error only. Whenever you saved it, it is going to validate the things also, sir. It is showing what, sir? Why? Because a workflow must contain apart from start task, any other task we should contain. If any other task is not available, it is going to throw error. See here, what is error message also here? Validating the flow, semantics of workflow. Start instance, start should have at least what, sir? One output link. Start task should have at least one output link. As of now, we didn't have any output link. That is the reason it is throwing error. Anyhow, we didn't complete our hands-on. We completed only one step we completed. Next is, down the line, you need to communicate with your source. Source is what here? Source is here, B108 HDBU. Is it available? You didn't create it here. Okay, try to create the source connection here. I'm interested in SQL developer, try to create it so that tomorrow down the line it will be accessing is very easy. Yes, madam, try to create the connection. There only try to create the connection. So database connection, then B108 HDBU, then this also B108 HDBU, RR capital, ITEX small, 1, 2, 3, then ORCL, then save it, test it, connect it. Now if you go and see, this is what our source one. The source I have a table, employee table is available. Inside this one, this is what the data is available. B108 HDB is what, sir? It is a schema in the ORCL database. My Informatica need to communicate. My Informatica need to communicate with this table employee means I need to create one connection or not? And what type of connection you want here? Relational connection, or it is a queue connection, or FTP connection, or application connection. Those all things you need to select here. Relational means it may be Oracle database, SQL Server database, like that. Queue means if you click on this queue, we have here select the type of queue servers or MSMQ, message queue. Suppose you want to send the SMS integrations and all. At the moment we go for these objects. And we have something else that is known as FTP. If you want to send the information from here to somewhere, we need to send it. FTP connections you need to provide here. Okay, let us say you want to go for one more thing that is called as application oriented, like PeopleSoft, Siebel, okay, like these SAP things. Anything you want to do it, you can do it. Now similarly we have here connections, loader. SQL loader is one concept is available. Those things are any other loaders you want to go, you can go for that one. Anyhow, primarily we are going to concentrate on what's a relational. I want one connection for the source, one connection for the target, one connection for the source table to access, one connection for the target table to access. Here one small confusion is, sir, already we created in the designer two ODBC connections. One is for the source, one is for the target. Same thing cannot use here. Answer is you cannot use it. Whatever you created the connections in the designer ODBC connections, those things are not visible. Those things are not visible in the workflow manager. So you need to create the separate connections. Okay, how to create the connections is very simple job. That's what our step is available. Creating source connection. Go to connections menu, then click on relational, click on new, select Oracle, click on OK. Provide the name as native underscore source, username, password, connection string, like this you are providing it. Then click on OK, click on close, creating target connection. That also simple, native target, TDBU, and like this available. Okay. Click on OK, click on close, click on OK and click on close. Right. Try to do the same job. Yes, madam. Go to the workflow manager window. Then go to the connections, relational. So click on the new option. Yeah, select the Oracle, click on the new option. As of now, no connections are available. Then your batch number is what? B108. Same thing I want to provide here. B108 underscore native underscore what's the source you want to communicate. This is a logical name only. Whatever you want, you can provide it. And your username is what? Your source table is available where? In the designer, whatever you used as a source. What is source? Employee table. What is your target? This is what our target, ODS underscore employee table. Where is this your source? Where is your target? The corresponding things you need to provide. Source is available where? In SDBU. That one I am trying to provide here. B108 SDBU. B108 SDBU. Then password. Password should be very carefully need to write it. Why? Because there is no test connection option. Okay, that is the reason you should be very careful. RR capital, ITEX small, 1, 2, 3. Connection string is ORCL. Click on OK. Perfect. Similarly, we want one more thing for what, sir? Target. If you want to make copy as this one, you can go for the copy as and you can do it because most of the properties are same, right? You can use that also. Yes, whatever you want. Go for the new or copy as, whatever it. Yeah, copy as Oracle. OK. Now we got here copy as what, sir? B108 native source Vora. But I want to change all the naming conventions, everything. Click on this edit and this is called as what, sir? Target. So I am trying to rename this as target and this is what, sir? TDB. Apart from this one, remaining all things are same or not? Remaining all are same. So click on OK. So you created successfully one for source, one for target. Click on close. With this, I completed the job of creating the connections here. Next one is creating a task and running the workflow. In this exercise, the student will create one task. The task is known as session task. What is session task is? Session task represents the mapping for the Informatica server to run. The Informatica server uses the instructions configured in the session to move data from source towards a target. we are going to configure the properties inside the session task only. And note that each session task is associated with a single mapping. Only what, sir? Only one mapping. It can be mapped. Go and try to create the session task now. You can create session task very easily by clicking this button. You can click here. That is a one way. Like this, you can click and you can click here. This is a one way. Other way is you can go to the task menu, create it. There from the drop down, we can select whatever task you want in that one session task. In that one session task. Yes, we'll go and we'll try to do that process. Yeah, go ahead, Niru. You can speak out. You're speaking, but I'm not able to hear or what? I'm not able to hear anything. Any problem from my side or your side? No, I'm not able to hear anything. Can you speak again? Okay. Some other folks, you can say hi to me so that I come to understand problem is from my side or your side. Some other folks, Akhilesh or Anu or Nawaz, please say hi to me.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm able to hear Akhilesh what he's saying. So something problem with you only, Niru. So go with the chart. Your question, you can go with the chart then. Okay, you can go with the chart. Fine. Go with the chart quickly. Otherwise, you can ask later point of time. You can continue the things. Okay, no problem then. Let us go and try to continue now session task. How to create the session task? We are going to the task menu. There I have the create option. Then we have here, this is also one of the option session task. From here you can take it or you can take from here. Both are one and same. Out of these all tasks, whatever you are seeing, most used task is what, sir? This is the one, session task is the most used task. So click on that session task. Click on that session task. Yes, Niru, click on that session task. Click on that session task. Then come to the work area, that is white space. Come to the work area, that is white space. Then your cursor is came like one kind of symbol, right? Now one session can be integrated with what, sir? One mapping. That means one session can accept input as a one mapping. So I am selecting your mapping. Click on OK. Now, these two things, if you want to connect it, you can connect it. Before that, I want to observe the properties of this one. Double click on the session task. Double click on the session task. Double click. Then first tab is available, that is known as general tab. There we have mapping name is what, sir? What mapping you integrated? M_ODS_employee mapping. Now, down the line, we are going to run this one, right? Down the line, we are going to run this one. Whenever you are running this one, it will be creating some log file. Yes or no? Something you want to debug it. Some error is occurred. You want to debug it. It is going to create log file or not? Where it is going to create the log file? The log file location you need to provide, right? By default, the log file location is what, sir? This is what the session log file directory. Here one confusion. What is the confusion, sir? Here some kind of variable is there. How I can locate in my hard disk where it is available? In my hard disk, where it is available, the C drive or D drive or E drive. The file name is okay. Given the file name is, this is what the file name. But path is what, sir? This is what the path differently given. Now how have I come to understand what is this path? Right, to understand this path, what you can do is, you know how to open admin console page, right? Let me open admin console page. I am going to the admin console page 8443. Then your username and password, I want to type it. I am trying to type here username, then followed by password, login. Where is your integration service, sir? You need to select that integration service. There you will find the answer for my question. Let us say B108 IS. B108 IS, this is what our integration service. In the integration service, we have one tab. The tab is known as processes. There you can find out general properties. Here some kind of variables are available. Your variable, whatever it is available here, that is what's a $PM session log directory that you can find out somewhere here. $PM session log directory. In this variable path, again we are calling what, sir? One more variable we are calling. This variable path is what? This is a variable path. If this value you are substituting here, then what is the total path, sir? Can you navigate now? C drive, Informatica 9.1.0, server, InfoShade, then session logs. That means this file is going to save in the C drive, then Informatica location 9.1.0, then server, then InfoShade, then session logs is the one folder is available. Here it is going to store down the line. Your log file is going to store where, sir? This is where the location it is going to store down the line. This is a location where it is going to store down the line. Okay, if people understand very clearly the point is here, session log file directory is what, sir? This is what the directory. Down the line, I may be telling like, let us say source file. Source files is nothing but what, sir? SRC files. Target files. Target files is nothing but what, sir? TZT files, some temporary files, some lookup files, LKP files are available. Lookup files, some cache. These all are Informatica organized structure for the different types of files. Organized structure for the different types of files. Source files, it may be target files, it may be lookup files, cache files, log files, all things. Perfect. Now, that is the directory whatever available. Let us go for here mapping option. Inside this mapping, I have here SQ_employee is the one source. In our mapping, what is the source here? SQ_employee. The source is as it is coming here. Source name we will not see. Source qualifier name we will see over there. Source name we will not see. We will see what, sir? Source qualifier name we are seeing. That's what we are seeing here. The source qualifier is coming from where? Is coming from which database connectivity? It is coming from HDBU or TDBU? HDBU corresponding connection is this only or not? That is mapped. If it is not mapped properly, you need to go for the drop down and you need to select properly here. Now see here, this is the target table. Is it properly connection is available? No. Now select the proper connection for that one. Yes, madam. Select the proper connection for that one. Target. Okay. Perfect job. Now with this I completed configuring the source and targets also. Then you can click on OK. Target load type is what? Normal. As my target table has index, then I need to select the normal only available, so no problem. Click on the OK. This means we completed the step called as the step totally completed. Next is what, sir? Link the workflow tasks. I want to link here session task and workflow task as shown like this. To link that one, very easy. In the corner we are seeing here one option that is known as link task. Click on that link task. Click on that link task. Then try to drag and drop from start task to then session task. That's what we got it. If you want to organize better, then you can right click in this window. Then I have here one option that is called as arrange horizontal. This is how it is horizontal. If you want to arrange vertical, you can go for arrange vertical. That's how it is going to arrange the vertical. So normally good looking is arrange horizontal will be good looking. Go for the horizontal. Go for the horizontal. Right. So let us go and try to save this one. Repository menu, save it. Now notice here it is what, sir? It is valid now. It is valid now. Now if people understand this point, next is validating the workflow. Validating the workflow is nothing but I may be showing this option workflow and what, sir? Validate. Even if you go for the save also, by default what is happening, sir? With save, validation also will be happening. Whenever you click on the save, first validation will be done, then only it is going to save it. Then only it is going to save it. Fine, that is done. Next is called as start our workflow. Select the workflows menu, then go for the start workflow. This is what the workflows. Go to the workflows menu, then click on start workflow option, whatever available. Try to click on the start workflow. Then it's trying to open one window. That window is known as workflow monitor. It is running. It is running. Then you can see here succeeded and what, sir? Succeeded. If it is succeeded means where I can see this log, how many records are loaded, those all things where I can see it. Right click on this one, click on what, sir? Get run properties. If I go for the get run properties, how many records are there in the source? From the SQ_employee, how many records are there? 26. How many records are loaded in the target? 26. The incoming records to the expression transformation is 26, and outgoing records also what, sir? 26. So expression transformation is called as what type of transformation? Passive transformation, and it is connected with the things, right? So it is called as connected. It is called as connected transformation. Fine. That point is very clear. Next one. Suppose due to XYZ reason it is failed, sir. Where I can see the log? Right click on this one, click on get session log. If I click on the get session log, you can see severity is info available. Whenever really error is available, it is going to show the error. It is running our session only or not? S_M_ODS_employee. From where this all information is coming, sir? This information is coming from the location called as what, sir? Session logs. If I right click and refresh here, previously we don't have this file. Now only we got this file. Wait, what time it is created? 6/30/2014, 7:43. That means just now it is created. So whatever you are running, that log files are saving here or not? Whatever it's saved here, you need not access from here. Directly you can right click on this one, then click on get session log. This is mainly useful whenever you want to debug something. You are getting my point? Right. For example, what I am doing is with my bad, what I am doing here, I am going to the connections, relational, source is available, target is available, right? I am going to the target side. Due to my bad, I am giving here password wrong. I am giving what, sir? Password wrong I given. Click on OK. Click on close. Then save it. I am selecting now start task. Go to the workflows menu, then start workflow. Now go and see in the monitor. It will be running. Is it going to pass or it is going to fail, sir? It is failed. Why it is failed? As I change in front of your eyes the password, you may be telling like password is a problem. But in reality, how to debug it? How to debug, sir? Right click, then get session log. Then you can see the severity here, info. From some point of time, we are seeing what, sir? Error. You now read the message. Error connecting to the database. Okay, S_M_employee database, driver error. Invalid what, sir? Username, password, logon denied. From this, you come to understand exactly what is the root cause of the failure or not. The root cause of the failure, you come to understand. Once you understand the root cause of the failure, it is good to go. Am I clear? Right. Now what I will do is, I will go and I will try to correct my problem. Let us say, go to the connections, relational, target, edit. I want to delete here things. Okay. Then go for close it. This is the way how we can debug the things. With this we completed one activity that is called as how to start the workflow and execute. Exercise 4 is monitor the workflow, navigate in workflow monitor window. You may wish to maximize the window for readability purpose. If you want, you can maximize it. Then here two things are available. One is called as two modes in the monitor actually. One mode is known as here. What's that? Gantt chart. Second is what, sir? Task view. These are the two look and feels are available. Whatever you want to see it, you can see it. Normally in this mode we can see the timestamps and completion date properly. We'll see it. We prefer to go with what, sir? Task view is the preferred one. Okay, but however, if whatever you feel comfortable, you can select it. Two views are available here. That's what I am trying to explain in this document here in the bottom. View the session properties. If you want, you can view the session properties. Then view the session log. If you want, you can see the session log also like this. Okay, then next is what, sir? Float file filter. flat file filter. Any questions relevant to this one, sir? Now we completed actually what we completed, this total 6 steps are completed. This total 6 steps are completed. Now we know how to define the source, how to define the target, creating the mapping with the transformation, creating session task, creating workflow with task component, and running the workflow and verify the result. The 6 steps process, whatever is right, this is common throughout Informatica, sir. This is common throughout the Informatica. What is going to change, what is going to change, only the area what, sir? The transformations are going to change it. Source will be there, target will be there, remaining all process also common process. Only thing is transformations are going to change it. You're getting my point? Right. Let us move on to the next answer, that is called as answer 4. In this one, what is our goal? Flat file and filter. Yeah. Oh, good question. What he is trying to ask is, in workflow monitor, one session is failed, but something is showing succeeded. What is this? Right. This is workflow status, sir. Workflow, once it is initiated, that's it. It is going to say as succeeded. What is failed here? Session task is failed, that only is going to show as failed. Why this design like this is, what is this question is, both the things should be shown as a failed only. Why it is showing this is pass, this is fail? That is what is question. Whenever it is initiated, it is pass only. Why the design like this is, suppose down the line, here we have only 2 things are available. Down the line I may have what's one email task may be there, you may want to connect here. Down the line you may have one more session task also may be there, you may want to connect here. Down the line one more thing may be available, assignment task may be there, you may need to connect down the line like this. Now if I am running this one, suppose it is failed, let us say this is pass. This is pass, this is pass, this is also pass. Email is failed. Why? Because there is no SMTP server. There is no SMTP server. Then it is going to show these 3 things are pass, this is fail. So each and every task here shown, status is shown independently. Whenever this running is completed successfully, it is going to show as pass only. In my case, this is pass, but this is failed, it is showing this failed. You are getting my point? Whatever you are seeing here, the status is what, sir? Task-wise status. Task-wise status. This is called as start task. It is called as start task status. This is called as session task, email task, like that. Task-wise is going to show it. 2 things will not be showing here. 2 things will not be showing here as what, sir? As failed. Only one thing is failed, so one thing only is going to show as a failed. Fine. Let us move on to the continuation. That is what flat file I want to import it. What I want to do? Flat file. Answer 4. Lab at a glance, what we are going to learn in this lesson, we are going to understand. The exercises in this lab are designed to walk the student through the process of importing and analyzing a flat file source using the flat file wizard. The student will also learn how to use the filter transformation. So 2 things are going to understand. One is called as flat file. Second is called as filter transformation are going to understand. Objective of this one is how to use the flat file wizard we need to understand. Second is creating the filter transformation you need to understand. Right. Let us go and try to see it. First we will try to understand the step 1, importing the file. I already have some files, sir, which is known as time.txt file is available in the location lab copy and lab data folder. As I explained earlier, Informatica guy is maintaining one structured organization here, right? Source files we need to keep in the SRC files. Target files you need to keep in the TZT files. If you keep here, you need not do any manual things. System will be, by default it is going to read the files from source files, it is going to read from here only. By default that is. Of course, if you want to override, yes, you can override it. Previously also, session log is creating where, sir? Here it is creating. Go and change the variable path physically onto the desktop. Can you change it or not? If I go and click on here, edit, if I want to change this path onto the desktop, can I change it or not? I can change it. But by default, what is there? That's what I am talking. By default, what is there? That's what I am talking. By default, it is all the sources should be available where, sir? In the src files folder. Here we need to move it. In our lab data folder is nothing but this, what our lab data folder. There we have the time.txt. Inside this time.txt, I have the data. The data is, one is date column, day of week column, quarter column, all are separate with what, sir? Comma. This file I want to import means first you need to move this file into the src files folder. Let us say I am selecting this one and I am trying to move into the src files folder. In fact, in previous batches, people already they moved it. That is what it is available here. This one I want to import as a source in our Informatica. This one we want to import as a source in our Informatica. Yes, madam, go to the designer. Go to the designer. There, go to the source analyzer. The technical words you need to remember. If I say source analyzer, directly you need to go to the source analyzer. The technical word you need to remember. Right, already we have here one thing that is known as employee in the source folder, right? In the source folder, we have the employees available. In the workspace, I don't want to see this one. Not in the repository, sir. In the workspace, I don't want to see it. Then what you can do is right click in the workspace. Yes, then clear all. Clear all. I removed from where, sir? From workspace only, not from the repository. I want to import now file. Go to the sources menu. Then I have here one option. The option is known as import from file. Import from file. Click on that. Where is our source that we need to select here? Where is our source that we need to select here? Go to the files of type is equal to, that is by default pointing towards, sir? src files. Leave it. No. src files. Leave it. Correctly it is available. Here files of type is equal to what? Data files. Those things we want to change as all files. Then we have here time.txt is available. Select the time.txt. Click on OK. Whenever I clicked on OK, these files are divided into how many types, sir? 2 types. If you go and see this diagram once, this is what the plot file window. Plot files are divided into 2 types. One is called as fixed width, second is called as delimited. Delimited means comma separated, pipeline separated, or some equal to separated. Yes, I can take it, whatever I want it. Some dollar separated, whatever it is separated. Fixed width means what, sir? 2 spaces are separated by one column, another column. That is called as fixed width. One column and another column are separated with the 20 spaces. That is also called as what, sir? Fixed width. So plot files are 2 types. One is fixed width, second is delimited. My source analyzer is communicating with plot file by using what, sir? Your mapped drive. I mapped with the src files drive. Once you imported, the definitions we are storing into where? Into Informatica repository we are storing. Plot file wizard is having the 3 steps here. That's what we are seeing here also. 3 steps we are seeing, 1 of 3. Right. First step is 3 steps wizard. Columns can be renamed within the wizard. What is the meaning is, once you select here, click on the next. Here whatever column names are coming, field 1, field 2, field 3 is coming, right? If you want to change this one, you can change it. Whatever you want to put other names, you can put it. Okay, but anyhow, next is what, sir? Text, numeric and date time, data types are supported. Okay, right. And wizard guesses data type automatically. You need not worry about that one. This wizard has the capability to guess it what is the data type. In my case, go and try to read this window now first. Read this window. Our file is a delimited file or fixed width file, sir? Your time.txt file, whatever you are seeing here, it is a delimited file or fixed width file? Delimited. Comma delimited. So what option you need to select here? Delimited. And your first row contains here column names or it is a data, sir? So we need to select what? Import field names from first line. Field names are came. Actual data is available from where? Second row. Click on the next. Then what separated these all are? Comma. So comma separate, that is what we are seeing here. Field 1, field 2, field 3 are seeing it. Then click on next. Then we are seeing here date, day of year, quarter, 3 columns are there. By default we are getting here date and everything. Here, how system is going to guess this data type and the length is, it is going to read first to 500 rows. It is going to read what, sir? First 500 rows it is going to read from the file. Based on the first 500 rows data, it is going to decide what is the length, what is the data type. You are getting my point? It go and open the notepad and read the first 500 rows. Based on that 500 rows, it decides the file data type is what and the file size is what. These things it is going to decide it. Right. Now I am trying to click on finish. That's it. We created what, sir? One source file you created. You can go to the repository menu, save it. You got it? Now I am giving one exercise to you people. What the exercise is? Let us say I have here one file I am creating. Let us say new. Then one notepad. Then let us say I am giving a name as test.txt. txt, yes, already it is available. Now test 1 2 3 tst. Suppose I am writing here emp number, ename, salary, but I don't want here comma, sir. I want what is fixed width. I want fixed width means what, sir? 1 2 3 spaces I am trying to give. What I am trying to give? 3 spaces I am giving. 1 2 3 spaces. The next line I am going, employee name is 101, 1 2 3 spaces. Name is let us say Neeru. Then 1 2 3 spaces. Salary is let us say 500. Now I am trying to click on file menu, save it, close it. This file I want to import it. Can you import it, sir? Yes, madam, try to import it. Now go to the sources menu. Then import from file. From the files of type, we need to select here all files. Then test 1 2 3 is our name. So select the T. Okay. Then it is a fixed width or delimited? Fixed width. And first line contains your field names or not? So select that first line. Yes. Now click on next. Click on next. One moment. Here problem. What is the problem happened is sources menu, import from file. Data files is all of files. This is what's that? Time test 1 2 3. Okay. Fixed width, import from this one next. Here 101 Neeru, this is came, right? But here where is the column names? This is the one column. Okay. And this is what, sir? This is the one column. These are the two columns are available. It is giving guidelines what's in this step. You set the width of each column. Use with an arrow signify a column break. To create a break line, click the desired. To delete a break line, double click the line. To move a break line, click the drag button. That's what it's trying to say. Now click on next here. Now it came properly or not, sir? Simply need to drag it for the fixed width. Now we are seeing here, I think it is still didn't drop to the salary column thing. I didn't existed. Only employee number and what, sir? Ename I existed. That's what we got this one. If you want, you can do one more time. No problem. Import from file. This is files of type. Test 1 2 3. Okay. Then select here field names and fixed width. Next. This is the first one. This is the second one. This is the third one. These are the three things what I wanted. Click on next. Now this time it came properly. Okay. So test numeric data type. These things are came as 3 digits, right? 1 2, what's that? 3. Then 1 2 3. 1 2 3. 1 2. These things you need to count it and need to go for that. Next, finish it. Something is came again wrong. See that lines you need to set over there, and slowly you need to drop it, so that we'll get what, sir? All corresponding things you are going to get it. Am I clear? Try this one. Tomorrow we'll try to do this again. Okay, now time is up. We'll try to see tomorrow. Am I clear? Right. So today we learned 2 points. One is called as how to create your workflow, how to run the workflow. And also, if you want to see the data, I think data I didn't show to you people. If you want to see the data of the target table, you can right click on this one, short, sir. Preview the data, then B108 TDBU, B108 TDBU, then we need to go for RR capital, ITEX small, 1, 2, 3, click on connect. We are seeing the properly data or not, sir? Properly data. Okay, try to practice these 2 points, how to create the workflow and how to import the flat files. It may be fixed width or it may be delimited one. Thank you.